It is best you apply for Turkey visa yourself many weeks before your trip to save money. There are lots of visa options. One option is where you get your visa within 24 hours. The one you get within 5 days is much cheaper, especially when you're traveling in a group. I tried booking the visa 2 weeks prior to the trip. Though I tried to book the one which takes 5 days to process, it came up as not enough processing time and I had to do the one which I would get within 24 hours. It was more expensive and I paid around £45 per person. I got the visa in my email within an hour. Always keep a printout or screenshot of it with you wherever you go. It is illegal to travel without ID proof in Turkey, though no one might ask you to show it. We booked our to and fro flight tickets by Wizz Air, which is a budget airline. Because it's a budget airline, you'll have to pay for food in the flight and be prepared with something to entertain your kids, as there is no in-flight entertainment. Though these flights look cheap when you search for them, they make you pay for seat selection and luggage, and it comes to much more than what you see when you search. We started off on a Saturday night 9:30 p.m. flight from Gatwick Airport, UK. The flight duration is 3.5 hours. Turkey time is 2 hours ahead of UK time in summer, hence we reached Istanbul at 3 am. When you book your taxi in booking.com, you'll get an email like this immediately after your booking. You can write a note to your driver beforehand. Also, when you click on this blue box, you will get updates about your driver 12 hours prior to your travel time with driver's name, car registration number, and location of pickup, which you can access in Turkey. Make sure you give your WhatsApp number in your hotel and taxi bookings, as the taxi driver and hotels may make contact with you via WhatsApp. There are lots of options for SIMs. I prefer an eSIM while traveling. The SIM I used was AlloSIM. You do not need to physically insert a SIM. You just download the app on your mobile and you can easily select the country you want to use the SIM in and select the appropriate package. I selected for more data as I used a lot of Google Maps to walk from one tourist attraction to the other in Istanbul and also to find good restaurants and reviews. The only downside is though you download it in UK, you can activate it only once you are in Turkey and you need internet for that. You could pay for internet at the airport, which can be a hassle to find the kiosk or do once you reach your hotel, as most hotels provide free Wi-Fi. As I was doing it for the first time, I had a bit of trouble activating it. However, the customer care of AlloSIM was very helpful and I could communicate with them by messaging and taking screenshots of my mobile to sort it. Ever since, internet was fine all over. Ensure you have either a Type-C or a Type-F plug which has 2 round pins. It is easily available in Istanbul, but if you already have it, it avoids the hassle. The Wise Travel Card is a smart, flexible way to handle money in Turkey. You can load Turkish lira directly from a UK bank account before your trip or instantly while you are there using real exchange rates that often beat UK bank rates. Travel cards may not be accepted in some local shops, taxis or tourist attractions where only cash, lira or euros is taken. ATM withdrawals in Turkey can come with up to 7% in fees. That said, carrying large amounts of cash has its own risks and inconveniences. Use the Wise card for most expenses, but keep a modest amount of cash on hand for places that don't accept cards. Last but not the least, pack loads of sunscreen, especially if you are traveling in summer. Most of the tourist attractions are in Sultanahmet in Old Istanbul, and hence Sultanahmet would be a convenient place to stay to kickstart your Istanbul adventure. Turkish food is delicious. Though people say it is generally cheap, we didn't find it so. You get different kebabs. Adana kebab was so good. The rice along with it had so much of flavor. Taksim Square is an iconic place in Istanbul. There are lots of interesting shops there. It is in the heart of modern Istanbul and it is famous for being the location of the Republic Monument. The Republic Monument was inaugurated in 1928 and it symbolizes the 5th anniversary of the independence of the Republic of Turkey in 1923. There is another restaurant called Hafiz Mustafa 1864, which has lots of outlets in Istanbul. One should definitely try the sweets there, including baklava. One standout item was the wet burgers. There was this shop, the pronunciation I don't know, located right opposite the Republic Monument, which served wet burgers, and it was so yummy. Nightlife in Istanbul is vibrant, and shops and restaurants shut down late, close to midnight. And while you are there, definitely try Turkish tea. It's not just a classic black tea. You'll find flavors like pomegranate, mulberry, and even coffee with almonds. Many shops will offer you a free taster before you buy, so don't hesitate to sample a few. These top tourist attractions in Sultanahmet are close to each other, and you can walk easily from one to the other. You can start off with the Hippodrome of Constantinople, located in Sultanahmet, and it is just a few meters from the Blue Mosque. The Hippodrome is an open space, and you don't need to queue up or pay any entrance fee. Just beside this is the Serpent Column, which is a bronze column at the Hippodrome, which was originally in Delphi and later relocated to Constantinople by Constantine the Great in 324. Just a few feet away is the Column of Constantine. Just a few meters away is the Blue Mosque. It was built between 1609 and 1617, and it highlights Ottoman architecture, and it is included in the UNESCO World Heritage Site list. There is no entry fee, and this is the outside of the mosque. There is a long queue for entry inside the mosque, but it moves very fast. You need to cover your shoulder and knees. They will provide a scarf and cover, free of charge at the entrance if your knees are uncovered. It is okay to wear jeans. You need to remove your shoes. There is a shoe rack where you can securely keep them just inside the mosque, so you don't need to carry any shoe cover for your shoes, and it's very convenient. Children don't need to cover their knees. Hagia Sophia is a mosque and a former church which was constructed in AD 537. It was a church up to AD 1453. After the fall of Constantinople to the Ottoman army in 1453, it was converted to a mosque up until 1935 when it became a museum. The site was made a mosque again in 2020. There is an entrance fee here. You need to cover your shoulder and knee. If you don't, you'll have to pay for it, like this hapless chap here. That's me. I paid around 160 liras in total for 2 scarves and my knee cover. You can wear your shoes inside, and children do not need to cover their knee. There are still some mosaics depicting Jesus Christ and Mother Mary, which are preserved partially in Hagia Sophia. There is a ceiling mosaic in one of the domes, which was later covered. There is a lengthy queue for entrance to Hagia Sophia, and it takes a long time to move. Even if you buy skip the line tickets, unfortunately there is no separate queue for that. I was wondering what that ticket meant. Hence, it's better to visit this place first in the morning before it queues up. Audio guides should be downloaded and need to be heard from your phone. You will not be provided with separate headsets, hence make sure you have appropriate earphones of your own. Downloading the audio guide should be done before entering Hagia Sophia, as internet connection can be tricky inside. You can scan the QR code at entrance and download the audio guide. There are a few standalone shops outside Hagia Sophia, which can sometimes be overpriced. It's better to stack your bag with snacks and refreshment from a supermarket at the start of your day, especially if you're traveling with kids, to save some money. Basilica Cistern is an underground structure which holds water and is the largest of the hundreds of cisterns which lie underneath the city of Istanbul. It was built in the 6th century. It was called Basilica as it is located beneath a large public square called Square Basilica, and a great basilica stood there. The existence of the cistern was eventually forgotten by locals. In 1545, Petrus Gilles, a Dutch explorer who was researching ruins in Istanbul, was told that people were able to draw buckets of water from some wells and were even able to catch fish from them. Intrigued by this unknown source of underground water, he descended into one of the wells and rediscovered it. He even explored the cistern by boat. Again, it is a good idea to download the audio guide onto a phone before going underground due to internet connectivity issues. Staying in Sultanahmet gives you this sort of view of the Blue Mosque and other attractions and the sea as well. Grand Bazaar is the largest covered market in Turkey and contains over 4,000 shops. It is closed on Sundays and bank holidays. Bargaining for items is standard practice here, even up to more than 50% in some shops. They are excellent salespeople with outstanding marketing skills. We were invited to one of the Turkish rug shops, which we politely accepted. We had not done our research on rugs, and to escape, we gave a counteroffer of 50% of the price they quoted, which they gladly accepted. We later got to know that the rug actually costed even less than that. So it's best you have a rough idea of what the item you're planning to buy costs. You can find a variety of shops ranging from sweets to soaps for Turkish bath called Turkish hammam, and rugs, lights and shawls. We saw a lady weaving a rug which was interesting. There are many sections in Grand Bazaar like antique section and the one for leather goods. You get fake bags of almost all the expensive high street brands at 1/10 the price here. They're hard to recognize from the original ones for the untrained eyes like mine. The column of Constantine is situated just outside Grand Bazaar, and it symbolizes the dedication of Constantinople by the Roman Emperor Constantine the Great in 330 AD. It is the oldest Constantinian monument to survive in Istanbul. There is rumor that some belongings of Jesus Christ were taken from his tomb in Jerusalem and buried under this column. The entrance to Topkapi Palace is just a few meters ahead of the entrance of Hagia Sophia. Even if you have bought your Topkapi Palace tickets online, you'll have to collect your paper tickets from this blue stall. As part of your ticket, there is a tour every 30 minutes up to the entrance. You wait here for your book time slot. Hence, it would be a good idea to visit Hagia Sophia first thing in the morning and then book a time slot for Topkapi Palace later in the day. You get a free guide who will take you through the entrance of the Topkapi Palace, which is the Imperial Gate. The visitor route at Topkapi Palace starts at this entrance at the Imperial Gate. As you enter the Imperial Gate, you get a clear view of the Bosphorus Strait, which divides Europe and Asia parts of Turkey. The Hagia Irene Church, one of Istanbul's oldest Byzantine churches, is located on the left side after you proceed forward. Hagia Irene requires a separate ticket from the Topkapi Palace one if you wish to see it. As you walk past Hagia Irene, you reach the entrance of Topkapi Palace itself, and the guide will help you go through it. Once you are inside, he or she will take you to the entrance of the harem part of the tour, which is on the left hand side, and the free guided service ends here unless you have booked a private guide. Harem section is where the Ottoman Sultan and his family lived. Photography is allowed in a large part of the harem section. The harem section is one of the most intriguing parts of Topkapi Palace. This was the private guarded inner world of the Ottoman dynasty, completely hidden from public view. The word harem literally means forbidden or sacred, and this was where the Sultan lived with his mother, wives, concubines, and children, away from the political stage. As you walk through its maze-like corridors and lavishly tiled chambers, you are stepping into the empire's most secretive space, a world ruled not just by the Sultan but also by powerful women like the Valide Sultan or Queen Mother, who held immense influence over palace politics. Valide Sultan was a title held by the legal mother of the ruling Sultan of the Ottoman Empire. The Palace Music School was where selected young members of the palace were trained in Ottoman classical music. They learned to play instruments and complex musical scales of Turkish music. Another area is the courtyard of the Black Eunuchs, who guarded the women, the imperial hall where the Sultan would spend time with his family, the apartments of the Valide Sultan, and the rooms of the concubines and the princes. Among the luxurious spaces in the harem, one that stands out for its symbolism is the Valide Sultan's hammam, the private bath of the Queen Mother. Reserved exclusively for the most powerful woman in the empire, this hammam was more than just a place for bathing. It was a sanctuary of ritual, relaxation, and even informal diplomacy. The harem contains over 300 rooms, though only a fraction is open to the public. The decoration is stunning with intricate Islamic tiles, golden grills, mother of pearl doors, and low divans along the walls. This wasn't just a residence, it was a royal institution training future sultans and shaping the political life of the empire from behind closed doors. It's one of the most atmospheric parts of the palace, full of whispers, secrets, and centuries of intrigue. Once you finish the harem section, you come out of one of the courtyards and you continue your palace tour. There is a cafe here which has only limited options. They were just vegetarian sandwiches, crisps, and beverages. hence, if you are particular, carry some food with you. One of the areas is the imperial treasury, containing ceremonial swords of the sultans, the famous Topkapi dagger, helmets, armors, shields, and jewel encrusted weaponry, where they are displayed with great splendor. Another attraction is the clock room, with one of the finest clock collections in the world, featuring intricate Ottoman timepieces and European made mechanical clocks gifted to or acquired by the sultans. Photography is not allowed in the imperial treasury and the clock room. If you're planning a trip to Istanbul, make sure Topkapi is high on your list and take your time to explore it properly.